Hey gang, Spada here, and today we are taking a look at Bandai's Deluxe Class 6-inch Lion-O figure from the Thundercats line. As you can see, well, I don't know how well you can see it, but everything in the box is really loose, which kind of worries me a little bit. But I know my good friend Optibotimus did have some problems with this figure, but I'm going to take a look at it and judge it for myself. The one thing that I am a little surprised at is, look at all the space you have here. I don't know why, but oh well. So let's go ahead and open them up and take a look at it. And here we have Lion-O out of the box. Before we get into the figure proper, I want to show you his accessories. He does come with a retracted Sword of Omens and a retracted gauntlet. Now my gauntlet does have a little bit of flashing here at the front, which I'm going to fix with a hobby knife. And then he comes with a fully extended Sword of Omens and a full gauntlet. And the smaller gauntlet and the smaller sword actually do fit together. You slide the Sword of Omens into the gauntlet. And then on the figure itself, there's this little black piece, which that ball end plugs in there. So you can have Lion-O holding and traveling with his Sword of Omens. Now, this Lion-O figure is a very nice figure. I want to get that out of the way right now. It is highly detailed, very show accurate, and overall looks very good. The show accurateness is really defined in the face. Now, the designs for the new Thundercats really do lend themselves to making toys. My only issue with the face sculpt is there are no cheekbones, and Lion-O does have a little bit in the way of cheekbones. But overall, the paint job is fantastic, and the figure looks good all around. Poseability on this figure is excellent. Head is on not only a ball joint, but also a swivel joint. So the top of the neck's on a ball joint, and then there's a swivel joint. Arms are jointed so that you have outwards and inwards motion, and then a swivel. Then there's a swivel joint on the upper arm, a double joint at the elbow for near 90-degree rotation. Each arm has a joint in here that allows swivel on the wrist, and then another joint here on the wrist so that it can move up and down. The body is segmented, so you can get some poses going, and it does turn. Unfortunately, because of the way the figure is molded, there isn't a lot of wiggle room here, but you can get some, which is better than none. The legs are exactly the hip joints are exactly the same as the shoulder joints, so you've got in and out movement, and then on a more ball joint. Swivel at the top of the leg, near 90-degree bend at the knee, so double jointed knee, and then the ankle has a joint, and there's a little bit of movement back and forth as well. So this figure is highly posable, extremely posable. In fact, I have been able to get him into some really, really cool poses, like battle-ready poses, and then oh, my city has been destroyed poses. And he's just very posable and a lot of fun to play with. Now, the painting on the figure is top-notch, except for the joints. The joints are these black plastic pieces instead of what would be screws in some other figures. But I don't mind it so much. I would have liked to have seen these bits painted, and possibly even the screw holes on the back and the butt filled in. But it's not that bad, and you know what? It's a toy, and it's really nice to have the posability, and I can deal with the little bit of unpainted plastic. Now, for attaching the gauntlet and the Sword of Omens, the Sword of Omens itself is very, very soft plastic, which I wish this was a little bit harder, but I understand why they went with that. And you could just plug it right into either hand. It doesn't stay all that well sometimes, so you might have to just fiddle with it and get it to where you want it, but both hands hold the Sword of Omens just fine. Now for the gauntlet is made in such a way that it looks like it can go on both hands, but it really should go on the figure's left hand. So what you do is you grab the hand and you just yank it off, leaving a stub, literally. And you plug that into the stub. Now, the smaller Sword of Omens can also fit in the larger gauntlet as well. So you could have Lion-O holding the gauntlet and then going to draw his sword, which I'll show you that pose in just a second. And the gauntlet plugs right in. And here we have the gauntlet on and Lion-O in sort of an action pose. Yes, I realize it's not the best action pose, but it works. Now, I've seen all the episodes so far as of the time of this recording, but I don't know if the gauntlet has the grapple action that the original show's gauntlet had. But this gauntlet looks pretty darn cool, and the Sword of Omens looks great as well. Now, as I said, you can slide the smaller Sword of Omens right into the hilt of the gauntlet. And I actually haven't tried this before, so let's give it a whirl. I'm wondering if you can have Lion-O reaching over to grab the gauntlet. Nope. No, you can't. You just not. There's not enough. You can't collapse the chest for him to do that. But oh well. Now, as I said, Lion-O is a very good-looking figure, and I have to give a huge props to Bandai. They really knocked it out of the park with this 6-inch deluxe glass Lion-O figure. This is a great figure. If you're a fan of Thundercats, or even if you don't like the new one, but you like the old one, I would definitely pick this guy up. This is a great-looking figure. The paint scheme and the paint job is really good. The quality of the plastic is pretty good. And the figure, on the whole, is just a nice figure to have. It's great poseability and perfect show accuracy. So I would go out and pick this one up. I got him off Amazon for a little bit cheaper than you can find him in stores. But if you can find him, definitely pick him up. He is totally worth the money.